It is my birthday today. I'm not a big birthday guy, but I think it's a great time to reflect on what was one of the best years in strongman history. But to be honest, maybe one of the best years ever. Go ahead and pop in the comments. How lucky do you think I am? Honestly, I'm the strongest man in the world. I think I'm the luckiest man in the world, and I'm about to tell you why. So I'm going to go through all of the best moments of the year, and at the end I'm going to talk about what it really means to me and what this year has, what impact it's really had on me. And I'm pretty in a pretty unique position to be able to pass that on. So stick around to the end. But here we go with the highlights of my 28th year on the planet, now that I'm 28 years old. So 12 months ago, I had just come off my first professional strongman win at the Arnold UK, which was amazing. I was really, really happy about that. And I really could never have comprehended winning a big show. Now, October came around, I won the Giants Live World Tour Finals and had my first crack at winning a big show after having some winning experience at the Rogue Invitational. I fumbled that one massively, and first day went terribly. Clawed my way back to third place, kept my podium streak going at 6, which was fantastic. A couple of months later in January, I went down to Wadapalooza. I met Aaron Horschek, Squat University, went over to Australia, saw all of my friends there, ended up coming first at the Australia's Strongest International. So I'm now at winning my last 3 of 4 shows. When I got back, the LHBK brand was officially trademarked. It was officially started. You guys know how it goes. 20% of the clothing profits go back to the strength community. And at this time, I was getting so much from the strength community, I thought there's no choice I have but to give back. We, of course, still do that. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check out the merch in the bio. But I got it trademarked, and I got them on my leg. I think there's about 6 or 7 people in the world now who all have LHBK tattoos, which is amazing. Love to see it. If you guys ever think of getting one, go ahead and let me know about that. I've said that I'm willing to pay for them. Now, 1 month after that, in March, Rogue came up to my hometown. They did a documentary on me leading into the Arnold and ended up winning the Arnold, meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger, the whole 9 yards, which was amazing. So hard to digest. And I think my inability to really figure out what's going on came through in my interview afterwards. But that was my first really big win. A month later, in April, we released our first documentary, which was Born Strong, the Rookie Year. In that, I talk about maybe one day I'll be able to podium at World's Strongest Man. It goes over a lot of sort of the greater purpose around why I do strongman and what it means to me. And that was released the week before World's Strongest Man, which ended up going really, really well. I think if we ran that comp 100 times over, I win it much less than 50. But I was able to execute, and I came away as the World's Strongest Man victor as well. That makes me the 4th person ever to win both in the same year, with Brian Shaw, Big Z, and Thor, which is a company I do not consider myself with yet, because they're on a whole nother level. But interesting to have some sort of accolades in the same sort of vein as those guys. And by this time, I was really lucky to have essentially handpicked every sponsor that I would love to work with, all of which I'm still with. We got Rain, Rogue, Perfect Sports, Airwave, Tier, and Evolution. And my life it just changed forever. The next month, May and June, I was doing news everywhere, collaborations with some of the biggest names in social media and in sport. Went with Will Tennyson, did some stuff with Greg Doucette, the Knees Over Toes guys, Flex Wheeler, Nick Walker. And we traveled across America. We did 13 states in 20 days, visiting all of the best CrossFitters in the world. So we saw Noah Olson, Danielle Brandon, Danny Spiegel. We saw Justin Medeiros, the fittest man on earth, and all of the people who were vying to be the fittest people on earth this year in 2023, which was amazing. Now, over this time, somehow, Ash and I managed to find a bit of time to buy our dream home, which I'm sitting in right now. We've got our Moose head office out of our house. Extremely, extremely lucky and grateful for that. In July, I came 3rd at the Giants Live Classic. The podium streak still alive at 9. And at that show, I announced that we were expecting. And so we are also having a baby. We got pregnant maybe 4 weeks after World's Strongest Man. And Ash actually found out when we were away on that big trip. So she had to hold on to that information. I was able to hold on to it for maybe 12 hours before I started telling everyone. I personally believe that's what life is all about. So I'm beyond excited about our baby, which we found out a couple of months later. But first, in August, we had the Beyond Strong More Than an Athlete documentary, which we released with all of those CrossFitters. And that documentary is really pumping along. If you want to check that out, we'll check that in the description as well. I think it's at a couple 100,000 views now. So really, really good stuff there. Really proud of that one. In August as well, I came second at the Strongest Man on Earth. Then in September, Ash and I, we got married. We saw some of our best friends from Australia again. And at the wedding, we found out we were having a baby girl, which is, again, just like, it's the icing on the cake of the whole year. We then went off to BC, hung out with some friends, and that was sort of the wrap to the year. Now, thinking about 12 months ago, where I was at, I could never have imagined what life has become today. I never could have imagined moving out of my townhouse. I never could have imagined where business would go. Never could have imagined so many things that would have happened. I think it's a parallel to my strongman career. And I think the biggest thing that I hope people gain from these sort of story is that the number one thing that would have stopped me during this process is myself, is thinking that maybe I'm not capable, or maybe I should slow down, or maybe my eyes are a bit too big. And I think sometimes it comes across as bravado or as arrogance, but I really believe in myself. And I think there's too many people out there who don't believe in themselves to do things. And I believe in myself now to make some sort of lasting impact on the world. And I have that up on my whiteboard, and that's our goal at Team Moose. And however that lasting impact happens, I think there's very few people who have the privilege to be put in a spot to really make some sort of 1-degree change in the world. And that's now what I'm pushing forward to, on top of continuing in strongman, continuing to compete, continuing to try to win, to continue to bolster those greater goals. One other thing, though, I think is important to address is this might be one of the best, luckiest years that anyone's had. I could never have imagined another person having a year this lucky. And I can't imagine in my life ever having another year this lucky. And that's sort of a hard thing to accept, is maybe this is the best year I've ever had. Maybe I can do something greater moving forward, but it's hard to imagine with the number of milestones that have happened. And I would love to sit here and say that it's been the happiest year of my life, and it's been cloud nine, and I just walk on air and I wake up with a smile on my face. But the fact of the matter is, as things continue to progress, the pressure and the stress continues to progress, and I'll put a video out and you find out every day that someone doesn't like you for one reason or another. And I'd like people to know that that sucks. And there's bits of this that are really, really hard. And you do your best to try to make a positive impact, put a positive word out there, and try to impact as many people positively as possible. But the reality of the situation is, the more people that know you, the more people that don't like you, even if proportionally it's fairly low. So that might be the worst recap, the worst ending to the most incredible year that I think a lot of people could dream to have. I am beyond grateful for everything that's happened, including everyone watching this video, and the fact that so many people will listen to what I have to say. And so many of you stick around to the end of this is incredibly humbling, and I feel a massive responsibility to give back, because it's impossible to feel as though it's all truly earned. So I feel now I have to earn it on the back end, whether it's giving back with the clothing line, affordable coaching options, or free education on the YouTube. I just want to make sure that in the world I leave with a net positive. And frankly, I've gotten a hell of a lot from the world this year. So my goals moving forward, I want to continue giving back. I want to continue giving you guys as much knowledge and pass as much education and inspiration and entertainment on to you. I would love to know, what do you think? What do you think you would like to see? And what would provide you the most value? What would make you really, really happy? Thanks a lot for watching, guys. That's the recap of my year. It's my birthday. We've got some sort of surprise tonight that Ash has planned, so looking forward to that. Otherwise, pretty low-key celebration. Probably just get back to work this weekend and get done those things that I want to get done, those real meaningful, purposeful things. I'm going to leave it with one thought, in that this year might not have been the most happy year of my life, but it has been more than the most fulfilling year that I ever could have imagined. I think one of the things that people struggle with is that they aim to be as happy as possible. And if I was happy, I would not be training as hard as I do. I would not be working as hard as I do. But in the end, you're going to have a lot less to look back on, a lot less that you've accomplished. So if I can give one piece of advice out of this whole year, I would say chase fulfillment, not happiness. Thanks a lot, guys. Lift heavy, be kind, and we will see you in many, many more YouTube videos to come.